Back. Like I said, it's a Sunday afternoon. Now, this is a message I should direct it to the Italian Prime Minister of Italy, Giorgia Meloni, regarding this crazy idea of applicating Article 5 of the NATO in the case of Ukraine. One, Ukraine is not a part of NATO in the current state it's in, a war with another nation. It can't even be considered as such. Even after things settled down and all the dust and everything's all half past a few years, you always got the Treaty of Minsk, which says Ukraine can't join the EC, can't join NATO, has to be a buffer state. And it must recognise those four ethnic Russian-speaking republics on the eastern part of Ukraine, which Ukrainians, the Russians, and European Union signed. And another thing is, if you applicate such thingy bob, will America come and rescue us? No. Will other states come to the rescue? No. Practically a few, practically no one will come. Dear Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, you are just painting a target on the nation of Italy for the Russians in a future retaliation, the strike back, to be one of their primary targets, which Italy is in a certain way, because there are a few NATO bases. We've got Aviano, and we've got another thing in Liguria, Camp Derby at Pisa, which is probably storing those famous B-61-12 tactical nuclear weapons. Obviously, no one officially will admit it, but you've got to consider Italy in such attack, will be a nuclear attack. It won't have the chance in hell to survive, because in a nuclear war in Europe, despite things have changed a little bit, Germany and Italy will be the main, just say, areas of major casualties, be hard hit by nuclear weapons, as the New York Kingdom as well, and following other nations. You can't play Russian roulette of the people of this country of Italy to be what you would call it, a servant to your globalist masters in Brussels, Draghi and other Nikon warmongers. The only thing is, this war has to stop. And everyone has to accept their losses, which Ukraine is paying a very heavy price. Despite they had a very few achievements of striking inland Russia with NATO weapons, using NATO personnel, using NATO intelligence from the satellites and stuff like that. Plus, you think Italians will be willing to be drafted to fight this war, like the Americans did? They were drafted to fight the Vietnam War. No, this is not our Vietnam, it's not our shit. And plus, the Italian constitution, in all ways, refuses an instrument of war to resolve problems. When everything doesn't work, people go to war. But the Italian constitution does not favour that military intervention or going to war straight away. Article 59 of the 10th Constitution, which states something like that. My dear Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, obviously you sold yourself out to the elites, the globalists, and since you received that phone call from Draghi, this one is another one who sold out the nation and the people who voted for her. Nothing personal, Giorgia Meloni. Probably be a fantastic person. Probably they done enough which you can't refuse. Whatever it was, no one knows, but it's not certainly putting first the interests of Italy and the nation and its people first, instead of a corrupt neo-Nazi country which no one gives a fuck about, really. The only thing in that country is people sent to the front line as cannon fodder. And more than 1 million Ukrainians dead on the battlefield. Could even be more. Will it be the same with other European countries if they get themselves involved in over Ukraine against Russia? I don't think it's worth a while. It's absolutely insane, and it doesn't follow no type of logic. Europe was a battleground for 2 world wars. No one learned anything from that? I don't think so.